episode 3 of Sizzle with Chef and Michelle. I'm Michelle, manager of sales and development here at Bircham Hills, and Chef is Chef.
Yeah, how come you always get to be Michelle?
I know it. I'm lucky, aren't I? So, February, as you all know, is all about hearts. Not just the romantic kind of hearts, but February is Heart Health Awareness Month. So today, we are going to do a heart-healthy dinner for two. And maybe throw a little fun in on the side. We've got health and we've got fun because your mental health
Healthy
is important.
fun.
Healthy fun.
There we go. All right.
Okay, what are we doing today, Chef?
Okay, well first, let me try that in English. One of the first things we're going to do is make some freekeh, an ancient grain pilaf. We're going to use freekeh and quinoa and treat that as a pilaf versus using rice or that. Even brown rice, this is healthier than brown rice. It has more protein, fiber, and all that. It's wonderful stuff. And so, using that for your heart healthy to, get your proper vitamins and minerals and stuff out of it. And then we're going to do a salmon baked with a little bit of olive oil and herbs in foil with vegetables. So basically less mess. So not much of a mess being made here at all, which is a nice thing also. I mean, you'll have a cutting board and knife. I mean, I did all this stuff ahead of time just because you don't want to watch me cut, I don't believe. I could be wrong, but so.
Nothing takes romance out of an evening more than having to do dishes afterwards. So we can just throw the dishes away, right?
Yeah, well, it depends on what you're using, but sometimes they're the sink. The next day is even better. Depend how many of the fun part we do. It'll make a difference.
I just got to say, ever since you told me this recipe, I've been waiting to say this. We can get our freekeh on.
I could have done without that, but thank you. That's
We need to have a laugh track so people actually think this is funny.
Okay, what I just did, and I just started because this is what I do. There's olive oil, get a little hot, then I jump in my onions and saute them for a few minutes. But we don't have to stand and watch you do this. So what we're gonna do while those are going is explain about freekeh. Freekeh, you may or may not have heard of it.
I haven't.
It's a Middle Eastern grain and all that, and it's fire roasted, so it has a little smoky back flavor. It has an earthy flavor tone to it, so it's great. It makes a great substitution for, like I was saying, brown rice or things like that.
Is it easy to find?
Well, you can always find it at health food stores. That much you can say. Sometimes the big chains carry it, but I can't say always. You're better off if you wanted to just go to a health food store.
Okay.
To get that. And some of the other grains, Armagnac and spelt and all that, they all have their own benefits and their own, what's the word I'm looking for, nutrients, excuse me. But it's a different flavor that you get used to. It's like rice. It's not white rice at all. And white rice is not really, it has no flavor. It has no texture, basically. So this has a little texture and distinct flavors, but not unpleasant.
It looks a little bit like brown rice, a little fatter.
Yes. What you're doing, once your onions are sauteed and your garlic is sauteed, translucent, always get your onions translucent, then add your garlic, because your garlic will get, if you add it too early, it can brown up. And I'm going to just jump in the freekeh on.
Get your freekeh on.
Cook that around, and then it's pre-washed, and so is the quinoa. Just dump that in and stir that around for a little bit. To get it coated in with the onions and the oil that's in there. And just like you do with rice at home, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just going to tell the audience that we will give you the ingredients and the proportions and everything. But right now, for this purposes, we're just going to throw everything in there.
A little bit of salt and pepper. Pre-measured amounts, as you can see. All right, so that's all nicely coated. And then we take our handy-dandy vegetable stock because it's healthy for you. It's, using your vegetable scraps to make your vegetable stock. Okay, put lid on. Bring to a boil. This induction burner is wonderful. Boils in no time. Bring to a boil, turn it down to a simmer, and let it go for about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Timer, 20 minutes.
So far, so good.
Yeah, I haven't burned anything yet. Okay, next comes the salmon. So I make messies. I make good messies. Now, yes, this is a large piece of foil,
Look at your salmon.
as you can see. But there's a reason. You can buy the longer rolls of aluminum foil. It comes in handy when you're covering your sheet pans and all that, so you don't make a mess. And also when it comes to this. And what I'm doing is, normally people do this individual salmon in individual containers, packets, foil, but I would like to do all one big, especially two. And you can serve family style. It'll be a little bit more fun to help yourself to how much you want of what. Especially, if you order fries and the other person says they don't want fries, but they eat all yours, yeah. So we'll just go from there.
So it sounds like you've had that happen before.
Once or twice, just when I go out to eat. Or something else, I'm not hungry. And so I order double what I normally would. So we'll take our handy dandy salmon out of the package. We're just going to.
Looks like a nice piece of salmon.
Yeah, it's from the center fillet. And if you get it from the tail end, which is going to happen, what you can do, and I'll show you because I happen to have a piece, is to help it cook evenly, is tuck the tail underneath.
Oh, yeah.
See, and so then it stays like that. It helps.
Yeah, I made salmon just the other day, and it was exactly that situation. And then the one end was done. I was doing it under the broiler, and the one end was done, and then the thicker end was not. So folding it like that would solve that problem.
Yep. So I'm going to sprinkle my onions, asparagus, some squash, and I take the liberty of using some zucchini and yellow squash just for color. And it says in the recipe, and I do remember about the recipe, to use half moons. But these are smaller zucchini, so I use half moons on the squash. Okay, then we take said tomatoes. So you can see it's all this handy dandy stuff. So now take my olive oil, pre-squeezed lemon juice. Y'all don't need to see me squeeze a lemon. Some dill. Where are you in my house? I gotta do all this stuff myself at home. I'm gonna do this, a little salt, and a pinch of garlic. So then, take something just to mix this up. Nothing to that. And just pour over.
Let you see that. Oh boy, that looks good.
Pour it all over there, okay? Then, this is the hard part. And you take the foil, and you seal it up, fold it up, like so, and then that's that, okay? So now you just put this in the oven for about 20 minutes, okay?
Okay, so, last time I did a cocktail, and we had a lot of people ask what cocktail I was doing again. So I apparently am getting a reputation for being the one to have the cocktails, which is probably justified. So, I personally like to keep my meals a little bit light. The grains, the salmon, this is going to be a pretty light meal, but, you can't have a nice romantic meal without dessert. So I'm doing a cocktail / dessert. I'm going to do a chocolate martini. So start out, I'm going to do this in a shaker. The only thing that should go in a shaker is something with citrus in it, or something that's heavier with a cream that you want to get well blended. This article I was reading said that James Bond ruined the classic martini because a martini really should be stirred and not shaken. Shaking it kind of disturbs it a little bit, I guess.
So that song's wrong where it says "Shake It Up, Baby."
Well, maybe they weren't talking about a martini. So I'm going to do equal parts of chocolate liqueur. This happens to be a very nice brand, but Godiva chocolate liqueur is probably easier to find.
Versus the mean brand.
Pardon?
Versus the mean brand?
Yes, mean, nice. I always go nice, not mean. Are you going to drink one of these, Chef?
One.
Do you want me to make enough for you?
Of course.
Okay, so I'm putting an ounce and a half a piece. So I'm just going to put 3 ounces in here because Chef and I are each going to have one. So tell me, Chef, are you a romantic kind of guy?
It's depends on my mood. If I'm in a hard day at work or not. Yeah, I like to think I'm romantic. So you have to ask other people though.
The one on the recipient end.
Yeah, would be the one who could answer it better than me.
So what, like my husband, you kind of, after time, you kind of get to know what are those special things to do. My husband knows I really would not care if he came home with flowers. But if he came home with a really nice baguette and some champagne, that's what I like. That's the way to my heart, as opposed to flowers.
Champagne and a baguette.
Just
Now,
so you know.
How European can you get there? You know?
A baguette and champagne.
Well, at least you have a heart.
It's there somewhere. Okay, so like I said, 1.5 ounces of each of the liqueurs. And then we've got some half and half. And it calls for 2.5 ounces per cocktail. So this is going to have 5 ounces. I'm going to shake this up a little bit. Not a lot, because if you shake this too much, it gets really frothy. You just want to blend the...
Like a milkshake.
Yeah, you don't want a milkshake. Now, if I were at home, I would have these glasses chilled. But I'm going to put a little decor in it. So just a little drizzle around the side. Sometimes they say to dip the edge in, to dip the rim in, but personally, I think that it runs down the outside of the glass, which I don't particularly care for. Chef and I were talking beforehand that strawberries are getting very difficult to find right now, and chocolate-covered strawberries are kind of time-consuming to make. Not difficult, but time-consuming. So we're going with chocolate-covered.
Liquid chocolate.
Liquid chocolate.
Well, thank you very much.
For you.
Yeah, strawberries are just various reasons. Time of year, temps, rain, things like that, heat, cold. Just has been not a good year.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
What do you think?
I could do that. Now, this is better than waiting for snow, in my opinion. I did enjoy that. But this, yeah, the only problem is this is more dangerous than waiting for snow. Because
yeah, you could really, it's kind of like having chocolate milk.
Yep.
And I'm not going to lie, I increased the amount of vodka that the recipe called for because it was a little bit too chocolatey.
Yeah, not a bad thing, okay?
But you can adjust that. Again, I didn't tell you what I was using, but the chocolate liqueur, cream de cocoa. I use vanilla Stoli, but you can use regular vodka, and then the half and half.
I think the vanilla would add another, Stoli or vodka would add another layer of flavor to it versus just plain old vodka. No, not that there's anything wrong with plain old vodka, but. Okay, so here we go, oven out. We'll temp it to make sure it's properly done. You're not doing it.
It smells so good.
Okay, yes, there we go. So that looks good. So we're gonna put this onto this platter, but before we do, what I like to do is put a little baby spinach down, or you could use arugula, or some other green, shredded kale or something like that, depending on what you want to do for health purposes. And I will take the vegetables and quickly, while still hot, I can arrange them without making too much of a mess.
Salmon is actually one of my favorite foods. I love salmon. My husband doesn't. So he'll buy me a nice salmon fillet and cook himself a nice steak. And
place it on there. Well, that's nice of him, but yeah, salmon very healthy. A lot of benefits to it. So now if you just pour all those juices right on there, look at that, nice and easy, right? And then you just toss this to the side here. You can then finish arranging to how you want it. Looks like you put some effort into it.
It does.
And there's really no effort into it. Now, before we dish up here, I want you to try how it is.
Okay.
Because we're gonna do one more trick to it. Just try the salmon. Oops, excuse me, get this thing off. Nice, simple flavors. Wow, that is good.
You're proud of yourself.
Now,
amazingly.
it's not my fault, I swear to you. It's not my fault. Okay, so now what we're going to take is gremolata and just put it over the top of this also. which is a combination of lemon zest, garlic, fresh parsley, and usually used for a garnish of osso buco. Now, just to heighten it, bring it up another notch. Now try it. So you can compare it. I always like to, have people try things as you go on, as you do different steps to it. Nice. See how you get that citrus? A little bit of garlic, it's raw garlic, and the fresh parsley.
Good job.
Yeah, thank you. Not my fault. So, and and this recipe is enough for 2 people. But if you're something happens and you're only one that evening, what you can do with the leftovers is make a wrap the next day out of it. Just get a tortilla and put it on there cold and throw a little dressing into it.
I'm kind of stuck on the idea that you went to all this effort to fix dinner for 2 and something happened and you were all by yourself. I mean,
It's happened to me for various reasons, for whatever.
You don't need
Maybe
to
they
just...
talked to a friend, I don't know. But all right, so you see, well, you can't see, but I'll show you. We have a nice pilaf there.
Oh,
It's a little wet, yeah. So
Yum.
straight
It
off the
really
excess.
kind of expanded in there, didn't it?
Yes, about double, just like rice. We're going to add some soy sauce. Drain off excess liquid if you have some, and then add your soy sauce. We'll add that to your platter, your plate. See, why dirty something else up?
Right.
There you go. Now try that. Tell me what you think of that.
Ooh, yum, yum.
It's something different. Like I said, try to find different healthy things, because food gets boring sometimes. What do you want tonight? I don't know. What do you want?
I like that.
That's good. And hot.
It is hot. I tried to not. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no word on it. It's like, here, taste this. It's like, oh my.
It is very good. It is very healthy and it is still flavorful.
Yeah, and it goes well with the salmon. And it does, you see what I mean about those earthy tones? But it's not, like eating grass. Like, some other things they say, oh, healthy for you. Let the cows eat the grass.
Okay, well, tune in next time for the 4th episode of Sizzle. And we're going to come up with some more luscious meals and delectable treats.
There we go. Dessert. I look forward to dessert lately.
Thanks a lot and have a great day.
Ciao.